Have you ever wondered what ancient humans actually did after the sun disappeared? When darkness covered the world, there were no streetlights, no lamps, no glowing windows in the distance. Night was not simply the end of the day, it was an entirely different world, one that could hide both wonder and danger. For our ancestors, the setting sun transformed the landscape into a place where eyesight became almost useless. Strange sounds carried through the air, and every shadow could mean life or death. Today, many of us stay awake long after midnight surrounded by artificial light. But for more than 99% of human history, people lived by the rhythm of the sun. So what really happened after sunset? Did ancient humans simply go to sleep? Or did the night become a time for something far more important? The answer reveals not only how our ancestors survived, but also why many of our modern habits still feel so natural thousands of years later. As daylight faded, the first priority was simple: safety. Most ancient humans lived in small groups. They might shelter inside caves, beneath rocky overhangs, or in simple huts made from branches, grass, animal hides, or whatever materials their environment provided. Before darkness fully arrived, everyone had work to do. Firewood needed to be gathered, food had to be stored safely, children were brought close, tools were collected. Then came the fire. To us, a campfire feels relaxing. To ancient humans, it was one of the greatest inventions in history. Fire pushed back the darkness. It provided warmth on cold nights. It scared away many predators. It cooked food, making it easier to digest and safer to eat. It even allowed people to stay awake after sunset instead of immediately disappearing into sleep. In many ways, the campfire became the center of human life. As the flames flickered, something remarkable happened. The work of survival slowly gave way to something else. People talked. They shared stories about successful hunts, dangerous animals, strange dreams, and places beyond the horizon. Older members of the group passed on knowledge that could not be written down because writing did not yet exist. Which berries were safe, which rivers flooded during certain seasons, which animals should never be approached. Every story became a library stored inside living minds. Anthropologists believe these nighttime conversations played a huge role in human evolution. Around the fire, information could be shared across generations without anyone needing books. A child listening quietly beside the flames could learn lessons that might one day save their life. But stories were about more than survival. Humans also told stories to explain mysteries they could not yet understand. Imagine looking into a sky untouched by city lights. The Milky Way stretched across the darkness like a glowing river. Meteors flashed overhead. The moon changed shape every month. Thunder rolled across distant mountains. Without science, these events demanded explanations. Many of humanity's earliest myths were probably born around nighttime fires. Long before telescopes, people wondered whether the stars were spirits, ancestors, animals, or fires burning in another world. Every culture eventually created stories about the night sky, and although the details differed, they all began with the same feeling: curiosity. Yet even while stories filled the air, danger never disappeared. Night belonged to different creatures. Lions, hyenas, wolves, leopards, bears, and countless other predators often became active after sunset. Humans were no longer the strongest animals on the landscape. Their greatest advantage was cooperation. Instead of sleeping alone, people stayed close together. Fire created a protective circle, but someone often remained alert. Researchers studying traditional hunter-gatherer societies have found that group members naturally wake at different times during the night. Without planning it, there is often someone awake while others sleep. This pattern may have protected our ancestors for thousands of years. If strange footsteps approached the camp, someone would likely notice. If the fire began to die, someone could feed it. If a child cried, someone was already awake. Even today, many people wake briefly during the night without knowing why. Some scientists believe this habit may be an ancient survival trait that never completely disappeared. Sleep itself was probably different too. Modern life encourages one long period of sleep, but historical records and studies of traditional societies suggest that uninterrupted 8-hour sleep may not have been universal. Many people likely slept in phases, waking for a while before falling asleep again. During these quiet hours, they may have added wood to the fire, spoken softly with family members, watched the stars, or simply listened to the sounds of the surrounding wilderness. Darkness was not always filled with fear. Sometimes it was filled with peace. Away from the heat and noise of the day, night offered cooler temperatures, especially in hot climates. People could rest aching muscles, recover from long walks, and prepare for another demanding sunrise. The human body itself reflects this ancient rhythm. As sunlight fades, our brains naturally release melatonin, a hormone that signals it is time to sleep. Artificial lighting now delays this process, but for countless generations, the setting sun quietly instructed the body that night had arrived. Our biology still remembers a world without electricity. Night also strengthened social bonds. After spending the day searching for food, building shelters, making tools, or caring for children, evenings created rare moments when everyone gathered in one place. People laughed, comforted one another, celebrated successful hunts, and mourned those who had been lost. These shared moments likely helped create trust, and trust became one of humanity's greatest survival tools. A group that cared for one another stood a far better chance of surviving harsh winters, dangerous predators, illness, and food shortages than individuals trying to survive alone. Some researchers even suggest that storytelling around fires helped shape the evolution of language itself. Complex conversations require memory, imagination, and the ability to understand another person's thoughts. Nighttime gatherings may have provided the perfect environment for these abilities to grow stronger over thousands of generations. In a way, some of the qualities that make us human may have been strengthened after sunset. Of course, not every night was peaceful. Storms could suddenly arrive. Heavy rain might extinguish fires. Powerful winds shook shelters. Lightning illuminated forests in brief flashes before darkness returned. Without weather forecasts, every storm carried uncertainty. Then there were illnesses. Without modern medicine, even a simple fever could become frightening. Family members likely stayed awake beside the sick, hoping they would recover before morning. Some nights ended with relief, others ended with grief. Death was part of everyday life, and night often made its mystery even deeper. Dreams also played an important role. To us, dreams are products of the sleeping brain, but ancient humans had no neuroscience. When someone dreamed of a dead relative, visited distant places, or experienced impossible events while asleep, those dreams often felt completely real. Many cultures believed dreams carried messages, warnings, or guidance. Whether or not those beliefs were true, dreams influenced decisions, traditions, and rituals for thousands of years. Even today, people often wake wondering what a vivid dream meant. That ancient curiosity has never fully disappeared. As civilizations slowly developed, nights began to change. People built stronger homes, villages grew into towns, walls offered greater protection. Oil lamps, candles, and eventually electricity pushed back the darkness further than any campfire ever could. The night became less dangerous. But it also became less mysterious. Today, many people rarely see a truly dark sky. Light pollution hides countless stars that guided, inspired, and amazed our ancestors for thousands of years. The sounds of insects are replaced by traffic. Campfires become television screens. Stories around the flames become scrolling through phones. Yet deep inside us, traces of those ancient nights remain. We still enjoy sitting around fires. We still tell stories after sunset. We still feel comfort when surrounded by family and friends in the evening. We still become uneasy when strange sounds come from the darkness. Our ancestors did not simply survive the night. They learned from it. They bonded because of it. They imagined because of it. And perhaps most importantly, they became more human because of it. Every sunset offered the same choice: stay together, protect one another, share knowledge, and wait patiently for dawn. That quiet routine, repeated across tens of thousands of years, helped shape the species we are today. So the next time you step outside after dark and look up at the night sky, remember that those same stars watched over countless generations before you. They witnessed frightened children becoming wise elders, stories becoming traditions, and small circles of fire slowly giving rise to civilization itself. Want to explore what ancient humans did during the day? Comment Part 2 and we'll continue the journey into the hidden world of our ancestors.